So if there's infinite potentials in the quantum field, there's infinite experiences for you to have, yes or no? Yes. So healing a disease should be something to prove to yourself that the power lives within you, yes? Yes. And if you heal yourself, you may want to heal your Aunt Mary. And if you heal your Aunt Mary, you may want to heal someone on the other side of the planet because you understand consciousness is non-local. Are those experiences? Yes. And then you should be able to create something out of nothing if you get pretty good, yeah? Yes. Is that a potential? Yes. I mean, so there's infinite potentials for you to experience that other than soap operas and television commercials and I don't know what else, sports. There's more, yeah? Yes. So then, the soul then is the observer within you. It's recording your whole entire life. And it's the camera. So imagine the soul watching you get up. Oh, here we go. What's up? Okay, text. Okay, Facebook. Okay, Twitter. Okay, email. Okay, news. Okay, TV. Okay, pee-pee. Okay, toilet. Okay, shower. Okay, food. Okay, gossip. And the soul pretty much is watching you do this every day. Would you agree the soul's watching reruns? And what happens if you watch the same episode of Friends every single day of your life? Would you agree then after maybe 10 years, you would be disinterested and fall asleep? You'd fall asleep on the couch, right? Come on, yes? Yes. That's just what the soul does. The soul goes to sleep and says, wake me up when something new happens. And so then the soul goes to sleep and the ego takes over. Are you with me still? Yes. So then, guess what? The soul says, all right, can't go on doing this forever. Sooner or later, something's got to break down. And then the person experiences crisis, loss, betrayal, disease, diagnosis, pain. They experience a trauma, and all of a sudden, they no longer feel like themselves. And the moment they no longer feel like themselves, they can see themselves for the first time. Are you with me still? Yes. And all of a sudden, they become conscious of how they've been thinking. And they begin to observe how they've been acting. And then they look at the emotions they're enslaving their body to every day. And all of a sudden, they become aware of the old self. And I'm telling you that if you stop creating, it just means you're more in love with your past than you are in love with the future. If you stop being the creator of your life, it just means you are trading the thought of that your thoughts create your reality for some emotional addiction. And you'll settle back into mediocrity. And you'll find people in your life that are doing the exact same. And you will use each other to reaffirm your addiction to victimization and suffering. And you'll get all the agreement you need. And you are right, by the way. But people need that crisis, that trauma, that disease, that shock, that loss, that betrayal, because then they can see themselves for the first time. And the soul says, I don't care what it takes. Let's just shake this loose a little bit. Are you with me still? Yes. And so then, as you overcome those emotions that keep you connected to the past, and the emotion is a record of the past, then the soul wakes up and is ready to create a new future with you. Are you with me still? Yes. Because you're no longer viewing the future through the lens of the past. Are you with me still? Yes. And so then the soul wakes up, and the person all of a sudden is trusting themselves. They're ready to face adversity. You know what? You know how many people in this work that I have interviewed that were diagnosed with a disease because of some trauma or shock that happened to them 20 years ago, and I asked them the tough questions. Do you know how many of those people reversed that disease when they overcame their emotion, and it took them 2 years or longer, but they never missed a day because they believed in their future more than they believed in their past. And their will was greater than their program. And yep, there were days that they were afraid. Guess what? They did their meditation anyway. And there were days they had a lot of doubt. But guess what? They did their meditation anyway. And there were days they felt so bad and felt so sick that they didn't think they could do their meditation, but guess what? They did it anyway. And a lot of those people said, I'm not getting up from this meditation until I'm in love with life. And you know what? Many of them had no reason to be in love with life. And to the materialist, they're right. But to the quantum mind, they're investing their attention and their energy into possibility, into a new future. And they turned that disease around. I've talked to them. And they're in love with themselves. And they're in love with life. And they have said to me, square in the face, looking me right in the eye over a glass of wine, you know what, Dr. Joe? I'm ready for the next experience. I want the next initiation. I want to be challenged again. They don't see their betrayer as a betrayer any longer. They see it as a teacher because they grew from the experience. And there's no schools of ancient wisdom that you need to go to be initiated. Your life is your initiation. And when we meet our life as creators instead of victims, it means then we can begin to exert effects in our life.